Well, hello everyone. All right, well, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. You're here to learn about Excel's SUMIF formula. So what is it? It's a formula that changed my life. And, okay, I'm an accountant, so maybe that doesn't mean much, but it did. Maybe it won't change yours, but definitely changed mine. So SUMIF. What it does is it takes a list of numbers, and you can code them very easily to add up those numbers into categories or what have you. So, I mean, maybe you can't see the practical applications yet, but you will. So, SUMIF, what is it? Well, you start off, you open it up, range. This is the table of values it's going to look for. It could be numbers, but usually it's stuff like, supplies, or you could even name the certain things to go to a particular category. So you have your range and then you have your criteria. That's what it's going to look for. That's the value or whatever that it's going, this formula is going to search in that table for. And then your sum range is the numbers that it's going to add up. So let's do a practical application. So I've got a list of vendors here. We've got the amount of money spent at each of them, and then just a quick total of said numbers. So let's set up the formula. So over here we've got SUMIF. Now the range, again, is the table we wanted to look through, which in this case is going to be here. It's empty now, but we'll fill it up. The criteria, which we're going to fill this in as well. So they're empty on purpose, and then the sum range. When you do this, because you're going to want to drag it down, it's best to make these cells static so that this and this stay where they are. Otherwise, when you drag this down, you would drag those down too. So let's set up some categories. Supplies, we'll do food, because everyone's got to eat, and then entertainment, because we've been going to see some movies lately. So with these categories set up, now we can go through and code stuff. Supplies. Look, it just pulled this in here because I said, well, these are supplies. So you can go through this other stuff. I know Rural King was supplies. I know Lowe's was supplies. The pants store, clearly supplies. Supplies. It now took everything that said supplies and added it up over here. Now we also have food, because everyone's got to eat, and then food again, and entertainment. Now one thing I like to do is make sure I didn't spell anything wrong, because if you go through and spell one of these wrong, it's going to be different from this, and it's not going to pull it in. So, but we can see 1321. So we're good. That is really the long and short of it. You can obviously see how this would be very helpful. You can go through and obviously change these at will, and it will obviously automatically update. And there you go. Now, as a bonus explanation, I'm going to show you the SUMIF formula, sort of a modification of the SUMIF formula. I'll show you how that works. SUMIF, open parentheses. Now, one difference with this one is you start off with the numbers. Okay, so you start here with this table, and it wants your first criteria range. This was like the first part of just the regular SUMIF formula. And let's say we're going to look through this. Let's say we want anything purchased at Meijer that we coded as supplies. So we don't want any Meijer food on here. You can either basically make the cell this for supplies, or you can just type it in, honestly. Sometimes it's easier, but then you can't update this number, right? So you got supplies, comma. Now you're going to look through the second range. Whoop, I did that wrong. We're looking for Meijer. Now we want to look for supplies in here. So, comma, supplies, close parentheses. It will now look through this and this, and only if it meets both criteria will it pull in the 129, which is right there, Meyer supplies. Now if we changed this to supplies, it would obviously pull in both of these. Keep doing that. So there you go.